Why are the Minnesota Timberwolves rising so fast? And why are the Milwaukee Bucks falling so quickly? And why are the Washington Wizards one of the hottest teams in the NBA? Let's find out. Spencer Davies handles digital media for Fox Sports Ohio. He now joins us live via Skype from Cleveland. Good morning, Spencer, and welcome to Sports Desk.
Thanks for having me on here, Mico. Appreciate it.
Okay, let's start with the Timber Pups. Early on, really struggling, did not meet expectations, but recently, the Timberwolves rising in the team standings, 7-3 in their last 10 games. Big wins over the Clippers, the Thunder, and the Rockets. How are they doing this?
I think they've just really been playing well in the sense of Andrew Wiggins. I feel like their success comes and goes with how he performs. Obviously, you're going to get what you get from Karl Anthony Towns every night. He's averaging 23 and 12. He hit that margin last night against the Magic. Secondary guys have really been big too. Shabazz Muhammad providing a huge punch off the bench in those wins in these last 6 games. He's had a couple of games with 20 points, 16 points, and they've just been playing really well under Tom Thibodeau. And I think it's also been a little bit of schedule that's helped them out a little bit. Their opponents in these past 6 games that they've won 5 of them have been a combined 119 and 167. They did get those wins over the Rockets and the Thunder, but their opponents lately, they've played the Nets, they've played the Suns. I think it helps them out in that sense too, but they're definitely picking it up and in the hunt for the 8th seed in the West, which we know is wide open.
And they're playing the Cavs next. Interesting. Okay, here's another interesting thing. The Milwaukee Bucks, so hot with the Greek Freak and Jabari Parker, but now 2-8 in their last 10 games, 3-game losing skid. Why are the Bucks free-falling in 2017?
It's been their defense. They're giving up almost 111 a game in this 9-game stretch. They went 5-10 in January, 21-26 now, just falling down the charts. Their turnovers have also been a big key here. In 6 of these games, they've had 15 turnovers in that stretch. Their shooting has definitely gone down. They're only shooting 35% from deep during these last 9 games. In that stretch, Jabari Parker's been attempting 4 of them and shooting less than 21% from beyond the arc. So I don't know whether it's being the pressure of being in the spotlight that's getting to them, but it's really perplexing to see. But they'll get back onto their high horse. Malcolm Brogdon's also had a lot of ups and downs in his rookie season. A lot of ups, in the last month, but here lately he's been, falling down a little bit. And sometimes you're just going to need another playmaker, and they get that back in Chris Middleton here in mid-February too.
Bucks are 9th right now, and as you mentioned, hoping to get back in the in 8th place. The Washington Wizards 8-2 in their last 10 games. Just like the Wolves, Washington really moving up fast. A 4-game winning streak, 5th in the East. And the Wizards, they have looked impressive in January. Your thoughts on Washington?
Washington's really been having success because of the secondary guys. Markieff Morris and Otto Porter Jr. have been playing fantastic. You know what you're going to get every night from John Wall. He's just been phenomenal. He had 18 points and 19 assists last weekend and played really well. Bradley Beal's been shooting lights out too here lately. They're 8-2 in their last 10, 27-20 now, 5th in the East. As you mentioned, they've won 4 in a row, but they've won 14 in a row at the Verizon Center at home, and they've got a 4-game homestand coming up. A lot of winnable games there. They've got the Knicks, they've got the Lakers and the Pelicans, and then they finish off that homestand against Cleveland. So it's going to be definitely a defining moment for them. They could really boost themselves up in the standings here in the East if they can at least take 3 out of those 4, which I think they're very winnable games.
John Wall personifies the Wizards in the sense that it's so easy to overlook the Washington Wizards, especially when you belong in the same conference as the Cleveland Cavaliers. John Wall, easy to overlook John Wall because he plays in the same conference as Kyrie Irving. Is that something that Washington sort of thrives with, the fact that opponents and fans alike, they tend to look over Washington so easily?
I think there's a lot of point guards in the East that people look over. You can even think of Kemba Walker. You can think of Kyle Lowry that just don't get the respect that they deserve because there are so many good point guards in the NBA. John Wall does a fantastic job of being a leader. Gotta love the way he carries himself. There's a certain swagger that's coming back to the Wizards too. As you saw last week against the Celtics, they had the all-black clothing for the funeral game, and they were having fun with that. They just seem to be more cohesive, and it's definitely serving them well because they're very much in to get a high seed here in the Eastern Conference.
Okay, sticking with the Eastern Conference, so the Wizards are now 5th. The Bucks, people thought they would stay there, top 4, top 5, and now they're free falling, trying to get back. Celtics and the Raptors. So when you look at the Eastern Conference, where does Washington stand in terms of being a legitimate threat to the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Well, I certainly think they could give them a good fight if they stick to where they are right now. I think they're certainly more of a threat than the Atlanta Hawks. The Bucks, we don't even know if they're going to make the playoffs. Certainly, the Bulls are no threat right now. They're a complete mess. So I'd rank them at least in the top 4 in the East right now. Maybe not even, it could be 3rd, the way the Toronto Raptors have been having their skid.
All right, Spencer Davies handles digital media for Fox Sports Ohio. Thank you, Spencer, for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me on, Mico.
And those are your sports.